This job wasn't about changing the tactics or a way of playing to a team. This job was about transforming this football club and putting it right back where it had to be. A total team has to have total players, and you have to dominate absolutely every aspect of the game. Almost everything has to be perfect in this league to give yourself the chance to win it. The demands here and the expectation, obviously, that we all have is to win major trophies. The key thing is that you have to master to actually do it. I think is very important, and now we're going to do it.
Martinelli's on hand. Oh, it's a glorious goal for Arsenal!
I'm off to Arsenal's training ground to meet Mikel Arteta. Looking forward to chatting to him.
Madueke. And hits it! That's a stunner!
Top of the Premier League, top of the Champions League. Good, but we kind of played the similar position, but the way he's gone about his manager career and the job that he's done on every level, I think it's just been remarkable.
Oh my goal! Martin Zubimendi with a wonder strike for Arsenal!
Good morning.
Hi, Mikel.
How you doing?
Nice to see you.
You
okay?
Very good, thank you.
Good.
Welcome.
Mikel, thank you for joining us.
Welcome.
It's 6 years since you've been in charge, obviously. December 2019. That seems to have gone very quickly.
It's been very fast. It's been an incredible ride so far. I could never imagine all the things that we've been through together, but I think it's been personally incredibly fulfilling and professionally something exceptional to live together with all the people around the club.
I mean, and it is remarkable because there's so much to it, but to actually be top of the Premier League, I know it's December, and the Champions League is an incredible achievement.
Yes, I think this job wasn't about changing the tactics or a way of playing to a team. This job was about, with a lot of support, transforming this football club and putting it right back where it had to be. And now for the last 3 years we have put it there very consistently in terms of results. But the demands here and the expectation, obviously, that we all have is to win major trophies. And that's the things that we have to focus in to find an edge and to find a way to achieve that.
Obviously, finishing second last season, I think you scored 17 less than Liverpool and you have 14 draws. That looks like, in a way, a quick fix. If you can fix that, you know, add some goals to the team. Was that something you guys looked at in summer, to add some goals to the team?
Yes, that was I think, the manner that the team got hit with injuries in the most critical part of the season. I think that was a massive one. The year before we scored the most goals in the history of Arsenal Football Club and the less goals conceded and the most clean sheet and the most wins. You still don't win the league. Yeah. That's the demands that we have. So almost everything has to be perfect in this league to give yourself the chance to win it. And now this season again we're producing very, very strong numbers in all departments, but we need to continue to go for another 6 months.
When I look at some of the great Arsenal teams, they almost had everything, every ingredient. They had size, they had skill. But it feels like this Arsenal team now, all of a sudden, not only do you have brilliant players, but actually I think there's a huge physical presence, which I think is super important. People underestimate the physicality, I think.
Well, I think that's the main thing. I think without that in this league, I think you have a very little option to compete and being consistent. I think I call them total players. A total team has to have total players, and you have to dominate absolutely every aspect of the game. And the game in the Premier League has phases when it comes very physical. Very physical can be very transitional, very physical can be a lot of contact, a lot of direct play, a lot of second balls, a lot of set pieces. You're going to have to be able to compete and master those moments in games if you want to win.
I mean, that's the interesting thing. I think literally you guys can play any phase. I think that United team, I said to you before the Bayern game, we could virtually play any phase. The only team we probably conceded possession to was Barca. But really, you could play on transition, you could play on set pieces, physicality, you could score goals. And I think your Arsenal team now, it feels like you have every ingredient, depending on what the game needs.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to build, and bringing players, developing players to play in that manner. I think you are more reliable and certainly more unpredictable for the opponent as well, because they have to dominate a lot of aspects to limit you to not to win the game.
I mean, set pieces is such an important feature, because if you think about in terms of set pieces, I think teams score like, what, 20, 30 goals a season? That's essentially, that's a £100 million player. You guys seem to have almost mastered this. Can you kind of explain how you've done such a brilliant job at that?
Well, going phase by phase, and on that phase, for example, in transition, we had a team that that we didn't have the efficiency required, whether it's short counters or long counters. So what are the main principles that we have to master? The time of qualities that we need, where we have to regain the ball to master that in set pieces. Put an objective to it. A project: can we score 2 set pieces per game? Can we score 2 goals in the final third when the opponent is set? Per game, if we have 20 situations, that's a very high efficiency compared to normally what you are able to provide. Defensively, what is our high press going to look like when we have to defend in that mid-block? How we do it not to concede a single shot in a match, because that's obviously the probability of having a clean sheet is really high, and that's the demands, the set and the projects that we have developed in the last few years.
I mean, obviously, you said you had a great little blueprint with the squad that you had, but this summer, obviously, with the investment and the players coming in, it feels like now the squad depth is on a level with Manchester City and Liverpool. It feels like now you can compete almost on every phase. Does it feel like that?
Yes, I think we've gone to another level this season. Obviously, last season, at the moments we have 13, 14 outfield players competing for competition. Is not enough, and we've gone and I think we increased the numbers, we increased certainly the quality, and within that as well the versatility of the team, because we added pieces that we didn't have but can complement each other in a really powerful way, and they have adapted really well.
Zubimendi coming in, he's been a breath of fresh air, hasn't he? Why do you think that position is so important? You played it, I've played it. A lot of the biggest managers in the world right now played that position. You think about Pep and Deschamps and Ancelotti and Simeone, you know, Alonso, yourself. Why do you think that position, like Zubimendi, is so important for the brains of the team?
Because it's the position that connects everybody. And
do you think that position makes a good coach? It must do.
Probably, if your approach is my aim is to make the people around him and the team function better, probably yes, because then you are thinking the same terms as a manager. And in order to achieve that, you have to understand a lot of what is happening around the game and why the game is taking certain direction and how can I change it. And I think Martin obviously has the qualities too, that we have other qualities around the midfield as well that I think complements very good his qualities and his deficiencies as well. But after, you know how difficult it is to do it actually in this league immediately, but I think he's been exceptional.
I mean, I think before you've been together, what, 6 years now, and I think you had quite a young squad. It feels like now, I think the average age of the squad is 26.
Yeah.
And I think do you know what the average age of the last 5 Premier League title winning sides is?
Yeah, it's around 26, 27.
So it almost feels like, obviously you need to mature, you need experience, but actually it feels like now the time is right to go and try and win everything if you can.
Well, you can see the way the team competes and the way the individuals as well have evolved and matured, and that's something that it takes time to get into that position. We look at Bukayo and the amount of games that he's played at his age, or Martinelli, or Saliba, or Big Gabi, Jurriën. He's 23 years old. I mean, and that's what we've been building. And now you have to keep building with those ones, but as well with the ones underneath. So Max, Ethan, Miles, all these players as well, in 1, 2, 3 years, where they're going to be to keep supporting and making this team better. And it has a time frame. And I think, as you said, I think we are in a really good moment now.
I mean, there's probably not many title winners in this group because they've all kind of grown together, yourself included. But obviously, I think with Mikel Marino and Zubimendi, they've actually won with Spain. Do you think that kind of helps kind of mentor the team in that sense, what it needs kind of in a crucial moment in a title race? It
does help, and as well we have players with Noni, for example, or Victor, he won the championship last year. All this helps. At the end, we all know that unlocking the first big trophy is something psychologically very, very important, because when you have that belief that you can do it and you've done it and you have sensed the journey and the key things that you have to master to actually do it, I think is very important, and now we're going to do it.
Well, I just want to say, you must be proud of what we've been able to build here in 6 years with this group, with this team, the direction that it's going, top of the Premier League, top of the Champions League. Good luck, and I wish you all the best for the rest of the season.
Thank you so much.